Saje Chudan Soje Jamala, Shaja Pata Dana Jetsun, Daka Shinso Jebe Tanam. Rola Bencha Sanjin Drabajo, Sanje Chudan Soje Jamala, Shaja Pata Dana Jetsun. Daka Chishe Jebe Tanam Je, Rola Bencha Sanjin Drabajo, Sanje Chudan Soje Jamala. Shanja Bada Dana Jabsam Che, Daka Chishe Jebe Tanam, Rola Bencha Sanjin Drabajo. Good evening, everyone. You guys hear me?
Good evening, Geshe. Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Everyone can
Good
hear me?
evening, Geshe and everyone.
Good.
Jackie.
Hi.
Today we just chat, okay? We just chat.
Huh?
We just chatting.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Damcho.
Hello.
Hi.
Good. Anyway, how are you guys?
Good, good.
Are you guys bored at home? Bored or bored?
No.
How is it?
No.
I've never
Is
been
it-
more busy.
Are you busy at home?
No, I have to.
I have to work at home.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
we're all
Yes.
working.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. It's good you guys work at home. It's good, yeah. Good. Okay. Any questions the last previous class?
With the homework?
Yeah, they're like homework. Today, first we just,
Mm.
you guys any questions? You have any doubts? What we talk about that, then we recite some mantras.
I do have a question about the homework, but
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
um,
No, I don't remember what's homework.
so the homework was so that so we're talking about the hero's path of seeing. And we said that the exalted wisdom of meditative equity, the hero's path of seeing, has 3 divisions. And one is the uninterrupted path, the other is the path of release, and then the other division is one that is neither. And so it gives 2 examples of ones that are neither. So they're meditative equipoise, but they're not the uninterrupted path or the liberated path. And one was meditative equipoise on emptiness, and the other was meditative equipoise on emptiness of duality. So we were supposed to answer, why are those why do those fit the definition of being neither the uninterrupted path or the liberated path? Does that make sense? Sure.
Yeah, who's giving answer? You can give.
Did anybody want to, or I think the answer is because the object for of the hearer on the hero's path to seeing, the object is the selflessness of persons, not the emptiness, or non-duality. So so that's why it would be neither of the two, because it's not the right object. But I don't know if that's the right answer.
Okay, how about?
That was my answer, is that emptiness is not the right object and non-duality is not the right object.
And the 다음에 말해야 되나? Yes,
So
Karen?
the emptiness is not a selflessness?
It's, but would it, okay, it's saying, okay, the path of seeing a hearer in one-pointed meditative equipoise on emptiness. Well, the definition for it being meditative equipoise of a hearer's path to seeing, it says, it would say the selflessness of persons, a clear realization of the truth of a hearer, which is a meditative equipoise one-pointedly on the selflessness of persons. So it wouldn't fit the definition, even though, yes, it's true, emptiness, selflessness is an emptiness, but.
쟤는 공사 다음에 찾아왔어.
So if it is existence, right? If it's existence, is it necessary to be a selflessness of person?
I guess so, yeah.
제자 안에 돈이다 간사담에 되면서.
Yeah.
So therefore, if it exists, it is necessary to be selflessness of person, right? If that's so, then is emptiness selflessness of person?
제자 간사 돈이라 냐마지고 냐 간사 담에 냐마지 자자시라 왔어.
Because it is existence, right?
Mhm.
And so therefore, is it meditative equipoise meditating on an emptiness? You know, is the meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness and meditative equipoise meditating on selflessness?
On the hearer's path to seeing?
Yeah.
No, it's the same.
because 냐도 통람 넣어서
야, 니들 돈 없대.
냐도 통람 넣어.
니들 돈 없지 이제 돈이라 되지는 냐마 냠자시대 니들 돈 없 받지 말아야 말해 남달라가 말해서.
Yes, in the path of seeing. So the practitioner on the hero's path of seeing. So it's like the meditative equipoise, meditating on emptiness within the continuum of healer on a path of seeing.
Say that question again.
So meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness, right?
Mhm.
Emptiness in the continuum of a healer on the path of seeing. So is that a meditative equipoise meditating on the selflessness within the continuum of healer on the path of seeing?
I would say no,
Yeah,
because emptiness means it's dependently designated, and selflessness of persons does not mean dependently designated. It means selflessness of persons means it's impermanent, it's dependent, and it depends on its parts, but it doesn't mean dependently designated.
Mm-hmm. How was it?
그래도 나 간다랑 제대로 되더라고.
나 돈이 또 로디 안에 때는 따봐 말했어. 그래서 돈이 또 로디 때는 따봐 돈이 때는 따봐 말했어. 근데 강석이 남에 때는 따봐 잘 말했어. 강석이 남에 쓰도는 다제 나와지 똥 받으라 강석 남에 쓰 그랬어.
제가 때문에 차로.
So if it exists, is it necessary to be dependent rising?
Yes.
Everything is dependent arising. Everything is dependently designated.
제자 간사가 담에 때는 따바로 왔어.
So therefore, the selflessness of person is dependently designated, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is dependently designated, but
Okay,
the
now
object.
나도 대적을 말다. 돈이라 뜻이면 냐자시대. 돈이라 뜻이면 냠 뜻이는 냠자시대. 아니 라이드 집에 강사가 담에 뜻이는 냠자시대. 내가 말을 다 대파를 거도 왔어.
And so, what are we trying to say is that the wisdom, the meditative equipoise, right? The wisdom of meditative equipoise, meditating on the selflessness of the person, is that a wisdom of a meditative equipoise meditating on the emptiness. Yeah. So the emptiness, the wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness, is that a wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on selflessness.
When you say emptiness, you mean emptiness of inherent existence?
Well, meditating on emptiness, single-pointedly meditating on emptiness.
제가 간제 돈이데 담에로 간사 담에로 와.
So anyway, so the emptiness is selflessness of a person, right?
Yes, no.
It includes self-interest of persons.
제가 제 간사가 담에는 계란냐마잖아 간사가 담에는 냐마 샤고 그래서.
So if you are a selfless person, right? If you are a selfless person, when you meditate on you, are you meditating on selfless of person?
No.
No.
아거나 제 간사가 담에 내 제도나 간사 담에 또 오겠어.
So if that's not necessary, then if you are if you, the you is anything, right? So you are just a general subject. If you are a selflessness, if you are, and because when you realize you, when you are realized, isn't it same as being realized? When you are realized, isn't it that the selfless person is realized also?
When you realize you,
Is that true?
안될라 뭐지? 그러나 저런 뭐이나 저나 뭐요 오고스.
So if you are a person, right? If you are a person,
Mhm.
if it is you, isn't it necessary to be a person?
뭐 요거 봤어.
저 강사이나?
Yes.
저 연나 공사 요거 봤어.
저 있나 강사 요거를 봤어.
저 연나 말다. 저 연나.
Uh-huh. So if you are a person, if you exist, should the person exist or not?
Yes.
So like you are a person, and when you exist, person exists or not?
a person, you,
You understand the question?
no, I don't understand.
So,
Okay.
so if you are anything, right? If you are a person, when you exist, person exists, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand?
Let's say that A is person. If A is person, when there is a A in your room, that means there is a person in your room, right?
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So like that, just like that.
The why?
So
이제
if
가능-
A is person, then when the A is in your room, that means there is a person in your room, right?
Mhm.
Yes, no.
Yes.
Make
Why?
sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why?
So
Because you are a person.
because A is a person, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Two constant bitches.
Okay. 다제 강사 그 다음에 옛날 제 또나 강사 그 다음에 또 오고.
So if A is the self as a person, when you realize that A, is it necessary to realize selfless as a person?
Yes.
Yes.
제가 돈이 제지. 제 또나 강사 그 다음에 또 오고 같았어.
So when you realize emptiness, do you realize selflessness person?
Yes.
Mhm.
제가 또 오고지. 다 아니 제 강사 아니 제 강사 그 다음에 제가 냠바잖아 강사 그 다음에 냠바 샤고.
So now the realization part is right? So, but what about the meditative part?
Yeah.
So if if A is selfless a person, when you realize A, you realize the selfless person, right? So
Yeah.
when you are meditating on an A, are you meditating on a selfless person or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never.
I would say
Deborah?
yes. Yeah.
Deborah, do you hear? Okay, there자 다 대체 돈어무지지 돈이라 뜻이는 냠자지 지지 강사 담을 뜻이는 냠자지 레베스.
So therefore, the Mahayana, the Mahayanist on the path of seeing. So there's the wisdom realizing emptiness within the continuum of a Mahayanist on the path of seeing. Is that the realization of the selflessness? Because the teacher told
돈이라 뜻이는 냠자시데 아니 강사 담을 뜻이는 냠자시 레베스.
And so the wisdom of meditative equipoise, single-pointedly meditating on emptiness, is that in emptiness within the continuum of the Arya, the Mahayana Arya, is that is that a wisdom of meditative equipoise, single-pointedly concentrating or meditating on selflessness of person?
No.
I mean, it seems like it would include,
Yes, Jennifer.
So what is missing then?
what is missing.
Yeah.
If
In this case, why that is not in the selfless? Why is that not wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating single-pointedly on selflessness of the person?
It's a different object.
가르쳐야 돼.
Because
가르쳐야 돼.
I can't relate this back to the original question. I thought we were talking about, you know, the hearer's path of seeing, and
제가 대래 년디 통화 들어봤어요. 년디 통화 것도 납득이 그랬어요. 제가 년디 통화 같으니까 너무 좋아하니 년디 통화 받침이라고 드리셔도 년디 통화를 가로 년디 코드 나야 돼. 년디 통화 냠자시.
얘도 털나가. 나도 저랑 그냥 티전 털나 없어.
아니 년디 나도 년디다.
아,
년디다. 대좀 년디라 되다.
년도 법의 주기.
Sorry.
우리 모습을 셔랍디.
아, 년디 통화비지 돈이에서 또 셔랍대.
Sorry. He messed up with the Mahayana, not a Mahayana. So it's still the the hearers, the hearer on the path of seeing, the hearer's path of seeing. So it's a hearer's path of seeing. The wisdom of meditative equipoise, meditating on emptiness within the continuum of the hearer's path of seeing. So hearer's path of seeing, okay?
right.
Is that a wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on the selflessness of person?
No.
다 가르마사.
So what is missing there? Why is not that?
It's a different thought.
thought.
Yeah, selflessness of persons is one thought. Emptiness of inherent existence includes selflessness of persons, but it's more than just that, selflessness of persons.
No, I think, so going back to the original thing,
Okay.
we're trying to understand why meditative equipoise, single-pointedly meditating on emptiness does not,
Hey, Ed.
is not
Hello, Geshe.
uninterrupted path or the liberated path. And because to be a hearer's path of seeing, the object has to be the selflessness of persons, right? To be the uninterrupted path of a hearer.
Geshe Tenley 식당 이제도 나 가다 담에 차버렸어. 저도 다니데 함 고민을 그래나. 이와이나 가다 담에 차버려 그랬어.
So if it exists, it is necessary to be selflessness of person, right?
내 가다 담에 그랬어.
So is that in Geshe-la's hand, a selflessness of person?
No.
말해야지.
Oimba.
내 가다 담에 말해야지.
Is that not a selflessness of person?
No, it's not.
내 지지 가다다 여와다. 나도 당연히 여다 말았어.
So if it is not a selfless of person, it's the self of a person then?
That's what?
No, I mean, the way you're asking the question, I would have to say no.
맞다. 가사가 담에 내 집이 가사가 그래.
Yes.
So if it is a selflessness of person, is it necessary to be a person?
Yes.
아,
No, it's not necessarily to be a person.
오케이. 다들 내 가사 담에 들어왔어.
So that thing in Geshe-la's hand, is that selflessness of person or not?
It is selfless, but
That's what missing.
yes,
What the Ed? What missing that?
Yeah,
I think I
I'm
know
late
the
to the
answer.
course. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My first guess, and this is, I know nothing about this, I'm late to the
No,
course.
I thought it's
It's empty of inherent existence, but it's not selfless because it just doesn't conceive of itself as being selfless. That's a concept one would apply to a mind, not a thing.
yes.
It doesn't have an awareness. It's a thing.
Okay.
It's not a mind.
Okay.
그것은
Yeah. 강사 말씀하고.
로 말했어, 네.
강사 담에는 로이 그 말다 야. 강사들 로래. 강사 담에로 왔어.
So selflessness of person, is it necessary to be a mind?
Because are you saying like then, for
Hi
instance,
Jesse, hi Margaret.
so is it because on the uninterrupted path and the path of release, like they're meditating on the selflessness of the Four Noble Truths, so it's the specific objects there? Is that why?
So you're talking about the four?
We're just trying to answer the question of why.
Yeah, therefore, 단단 내려도 맨날 돈이라 쓰지데 이미 돈이라 쓰지데 저기 년대진 토노 냠자에 제다 아니 니데 토노 받지 말아야 말이 니데 나발로 말라 그러지. 제다 땅에 때 니데 토노 받지 말고 니 저도 봐 적고요 그래서 왜세.
돈이라 냠자시죠?
니데 토노 냠자에 시대. 제다 땅 나도 배잖아 니데 토노 받지 말아야 말이 나발로 말라 그러지. 이거들도
자, 나도 맞아.
Do you understand that trick?
So here it is talking about neither an exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise nor the exalted wisdom of the subsequent attainment.
No. The question, it was actually neither the uninterrupted path or neither the.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
돈이라 쓰지데 냠을 냠자시 니 돈이라 쓰지데 냠을 냠자시 정도. Okay.
So the wisdom, so the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, meditating on emptiness, and exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, meditating on non-duality. So those are the example, of the neither of those two, the neither uninterpreted nor liberated.
Right.
And a liberated path. So the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, meditating on emptiness, within the continuum of the hearers, right? Within the continuum of a hearer. So that is not, let's say, it's not an uninterpreted path of the hero's path of seeing. But now Geshe say he's trying to prove that is the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, meditating on emptiness within the continuum of the hearers is, he's trying to prove that is the uninterpreted path of the hearer's path of seeing.
So we're saying the book is wrong?
No. You think about your think, okay? Book is not wrong.
No, it's not saying the book is right or wrong. It's just
book's correct.
Trying to prove that it is.
Oh, okay.
This is how you access your mind, okay? I'm checking how you understand, okay?
Okay.
So
the first thing Geshe is asking is emptiness, selflessness a person?
Yes, no.
It's a type of emptiness, yeah.
Is emptiness selfless a person or not?
Yes,
different.
No.
Different.
No.
Different?
No.
Okay.
No. What about that thing in Geshe's hand? Is that selflessness a person or not?
No.
Isn't it that if it is existent, then it has to be a selflessness a person?
Yes.
It has to be a person.
You're going all over the place.
Anyway, how about the candy?
No, it's not a person.
Candy
Isn't it selfless as a person?
No.
Candy cheese
Yes.
So that means that the candy has a self a person? If it's not a selflessness a person, then it has to be a self a person, right?
No, it's not a person.
It doesn't have to be a person.
It has to be a person.
So no. So anyway, so if it is a selflessness of person, doesn't have to be person.
Doesn't have to be a person.
Doesn't have to be person.
Doesn't have to be a person.
Okay.
So in generally, if it exists, then it's a selflessness of person. Selflessness of person.
Okay.
So anything that exists is a selflessness of person. So if it is not a selflessness of person, then you have to find something that exists that is a self of person.
Mhm.
Okay, you understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, 다 돈이 데 가사다며 레스. Then problem.
Does it really make sense?
You have the
Yeah,
answer?
you sure?
If it does, then is emptiness selflessness of person? It is.
That problem
Right?
coming, okay.
Emptiness is a selflessness of person, right?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes, no.
Uh,
No,
No,
it's
no.
okay. Whatever you think, you don't have to just, if you don't, it doesn't mix with your mind, it's okay. Whatever you understand, you can answer that, okay? You don't have to say, okay, we have to say that, not like that.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Okay, don't be afraid.
So
We are very far, I'm not through of this one, okay? if you're the Gomba, maybe I'll through this. Okay.
so you could say
No.
emptiness is selfless,
Mm-mm.
but it's not the same thing as selflessness of persons. It includes, because emptiness is empty as well.
Yeah, empty, yeah. 제가 가다 되면도
So
돈이
it's
어려워.
also selfless.
건다 다음에도 아니 대만 맞지 말어. 씨발.
Yeah, so the selflessness is empty. Emptiness is a selflessness,
The same, right?
right?
They're not the same.
세면 그런데 봐주고 되게 돈이겠다. 아니 미팅 돈이 집어 말이야.
So it's just like saying, the emptiness of a person and emptiness of a car. Isn't that the same being emptiness?
맞아, yana chani 다 대연에 쭉 가는 거지. 가제 돈이라 되지 냠자시 가다 담을 냠자지 예시 장에 켈랭게 저때 쭉 가요.
So now let's say if Geshe says the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness is exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on selflessness. If he says that, what's the problem? What problem can you point?
Say that again.
I say yes. I said this answer is yes.
So the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on selflessness is, the wisdom, exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness is, exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on selflessness.
You can say it's the same, but it's not going to be the meditative equipoise of or the uninterrupted path on the hearer's path of seeing.
가서.
뭐라서는 다 저런 직벌을 나는 되게 있나요? 가서 년도 토론 벌지만 남들 아이 책 말했었지.
나 가르치 맞아랬어.
So the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness is not uninterrupted path of the hero's path of seeing.
That's right.
Why?
다 담보 타서도. 아니 담을 때지는 냠 담을 때지는 냠 담을 때지는 냠 가지고 인지 대방에 돌려 왔어.
So that the wisdom in the 가서 돈이 냠을 잡은 냠시시다.
어때? 야.
So the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness, it is 가서
돈이라 담을 때지는 냠 가지고 인지 대방에 돌려 왔어.
So it is
담을 때지는 냠 가지고 인지 대방에 돌. 강사가 담을 때지는 냠 가지고 인지 대방에 돌려 왔어.
그래서
강사가 담을 때지는 냠 가지고 인지 대방에 돌려 왔어.
So it is the know of the true existence, right? Know of the 대망문도.
대방에 또 강시 되더라 또 뭐 그런 거 이제 그때 인지 샤파테 에너지 통화 받지만 되니라 봐.
So the
디칸데 강사가 담을 때지는 냠 가지고 인지 대방에 또 강시 데려왔어. 바로 디티 칸칸데. 오케이.
저도 신이죠, 가라디.
만도 삼아라. 시바지가 칸데.
말을.
시바지가 칸데.
네네네.
Okay, what the missing?
나도 대방문 들어.
니네 때문에 들어봐. 강사가 담을 때지는 냠 가지고 냐자지. 강시대 해 왔어.
네네네. So you know the definition of the uninterrupted path of the hero's path of seeing.
Mhm.
So in that definition, right? So that definition where it says the clear realization of the truth, of the hero, which is the meditative poise on pointedly on the selflessness of person, and which serves as an actual antidote for the acquired afflictive obstructions, right?
괜히 담아도 상상.
So the first part of the definition where it says a clear realization of the truth
상상.
of a hero. So the exalted wisdom exalted wisdom of meditative poise meditating on emptiness. So it is the first part of the definition, right? Is that a clear realization of the truth of heroes?
Well, it would be a hero's path of seeing, but it wouldn't be the uninterrupted path because the object doesn't fit in.
년도기 토론 책이랬어. 년도기 토론 책을 이나 버리면 책 말했어.
이들도 다 바시보다 다 가르삼았어.
So which part of the definition is it missing? And so which part of the definition did it not meet with?
That it's one-pointedly meditating on the selflessness of persons.
상상하다 돈이 담에 미셔야.
Which serves as the actual antidote.
It is pointedly on. It is meditative pointedly on the selflessness of person because emptiness is a selflessness of person, right?
제가 나오면 제가 담에 미차스 간다 담에 야마나잖아 제가 간다 담에 간다 다이 자고지 간다 담에 왔어.
So yeah, the person. It is a selflessness person, right? If it exists, it has to be selflessness of person. If not, then you have to be able to point or posit, something that is a self of a person.
Then why do they bother to distinguish objects for the various lineages? Why would you have a different object for the hearer and for the solitary reflector and for the bodhisattva?
그래서
율카가 같은 샤고 오랬었더니.
그래.
년도기 율되다 남의 샤라. 너네 란자기들라 너네 니동샤는 택진들라 돈이 샤드네 샤드네 너네 카와샤고 이제 가랬어.
제가 대담을 하는 가지도 파트거든.
No, that is the reason. But Geshe says he's just asking you why it is like that.
I don't know.
가래서는 저러나 가다담이 차려거든. 대체나도 가디나 가다담이 차스 가래나.
In general, you have to say without any doubt, if it exists, it has to be definite, and it has to be selfless of a person. But even though it is selfless of a person, when you realize it, it doesn't mean you have realized the selfless of a person.
Yes, no.
Necessary? Even though it is selfless of a person, when you realize it, you don't realize selfless of a person.
Yes, no.
What's it?
It
yes.
can be anything, right?
Anything.
It can be anything. So let's say a pen. A pen is a selfless of a person, right? Selfless of a person. So when you realize pen, do you realize selfless of a person?
No.
That's what he's saying, yeah.
Yeah, no, right? Not necessarily that, right?
So just like that.
Right.
It's a little confused. It's
The concept got it. Don't you most of it shut up the Garsa most of it the Dame race, Kansa Dame is.
돈이 데 가다 담에 연사 대란녀마지나 가다 담에 녀마 자고 그래. 그래서 그 트와티적으로 와.
지담 고마르스고라.
시다 고마르다. 말했어. 저 돈이나 결혼녀마지나 돈이나 녀마 샤마고 제 가다 담에는 결혼녀마지나 가다 담에 녀마 샤마고.
So even though everything that exists, everything that exists is a substance of a person, right? We just said that. So that means everything. Like so when you are meditating on something, doesn't mean that, that exists, doesn't mean that you are meditating on the self as a person.
제가 돈이 대단하게 돈이 되면데 라이드 집에 담에 맞다 지셔대 렌투자고 그랬어.
Okay.
라이드 집에 담을 냐 맞지 냐 자시. 나 담을 냐 맞지 냐 많이 있어. 야 그랬어.
라이드 거다야.
아,
Is that theory.
라이드 티 칸다시 여기.
So so again, so it is a meditative equipoise, focused one pointedly on selflessness, which is its object, right? Which is its object, but it's not a meditative equipoise focused one pointedly on selflessness.
야 친구가 지나도 얘기
The difference again? Last time we talked about why is it necessary to say it's just one object? Which is its object? Which is its object? Why we have to say which is its object?
Which is its object.
remember?
Position appears, which
Yep.
is
Look up there.
one pointedly
Yep.
on selflessness, which is its
Remember?
object. Yeah.
You got it right?
So
제자기
So
처럼
why can't you just say selflessness? Why do you have to say selflessness? Which is its object, right? Which is its object?
제가 가서 telling 가상이 저도 tell 된다 줄 알아요.
So Geshe mentioned that, right? There is a meaning for that.
제자 라이드 집 담을 냠자시나 담을 냠자시 먹었어. 이라고 그랬어.
So 라이드 집에 담에 냠자시나?
냠자시나 담을 냠자시 먹었어.
And so, if it is a meditative equipoise focused one pointedly on the selflessness, which is its object, that it's not necessary to be a meditative equipoise focused one pointedly on selflessness.
제자 니디 돈업제 돈이라 뜻이 냠자시다. 라이드 집에 담을 냠자시 예. 담을 냠자시 많이 들라고 그랬어.
냔돌라?
니도 단다도 되니 걸어마면 니디 돈을라도 돈이라 뜻이 니디 돈 냠자시 때 라이드 집에 담을 뜻이 냠자시 이자 안에 담을 뜻이 냠자시 많이 들라고 그랬어.
And so, meditative, so the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on emptiness within the continuum of the healer, the superior healer, is a meditative equipoise focused one pointedly on selflessness, which is its object, but it's not a meditative equipoise focused one pointedly on selflessness.
제가 당보도 이때서나 저도 제 내자 여와서 라이드 집에 담을 뜻이 냠자시 인들라나.
So it is, so can you explain the reason why it is a meditative equipoise focused one pointedly on the selflessness, which is its object?
So we're not really talking about the uninterrupted path or the liberated path. We're just talking in general, the meditative equipoise of the hearer's path to seeing. So selflessness, which is its object.
Yes. So that will be the meditative equipoise. Yes. 라이온도 주변에 가서 남의 냠샤이스 돈을 따 나도 냠샤이스 제거라서.
아, 니디 돈 냠자시라. 니디 돈 냠자시.
냠샤이스 자기가 맞지다. 나가도 가서 발제밀런데 나도랑 같이 시가 말았어.
시고.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
So
대 제자 돈이라 뜻이 냠자시 니디 돈 냠자시 돼. 라이드 집에 담을 뜻이 냠자시 에레스나.
And so, therefore, the meditative, the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise meditating on or focused on emptiness, is that a meditative equipoise focused one point on the selflessness, which is its object?
okay, I see. So now you're saying that's why that could fit the definition of neither the uninterrupted path or the liberated path. That's why emptiness could fit that definition of a meditative equipoise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
제자 reverse 다 데려와서.
Yeah.
So it is that is a meditative equipoise of hero's path of seeing, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
오케이. 다때 대자 라이드 집에 담을 뜻이 냠자시 일라고 그래서 인데 아니 니디 돈 냠자시 임베실라고 그래서.
So it is the reason why it is the meditative equipoise focus one point on the selflessness, which is the object, is because it is the heroes the meditative equipoise of heroes path of seeing.
Okay. 다 오늘 담을 뜻이 냠냠자시 해봐서 대 말이라고 그래서.
So but is it is it a meditative equipoise focus one pointedly on the selflessness?
말이라고 그래서.
No.
That's true. That's right. No.
연바다 돈이데 담에 미치는 절 오달라고 그래서.
And it is because it is selfless. It is meditating on the selflessness because single pointedly focused on selflessness because the emptiness is a selflessness. Then what do you say? Then you say no provision.
No provision. Okay. 제자가 라이 집에 담을 냠자지 담을 냠자지 많이 납죠. 그래서 대신 그 담보도
So meditative equipoise the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise focus single pointedly on emptiness is exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise focus single pointedly on the selflessness, which is the object. Okay. But not on a single pointedly focus on selflessness. Do you see the difference?
Yes.
Right? The meditative equipoise of exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise focus single pointedly on the selflessness, and the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise focus single pointedly on the selflessness, which is the object.
Which is his subjects.
So the meditative equipoise, so the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise focused on emptiness single pointedly, is meditative equipoise, and so exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise focus one pointedly on the selflessness, which is his object, but it is not exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise focus one pointedly on selflessness. And so similarly, the meditative single pointedly or focused single pointedly on the non-duality, within the continuum of the healer is the same.
Okay.
Now, do you understand?
Okay. 아니 팀마다 가다가 담을 뜻이 냠냠자시 강시 안 팀마다 아다 랑은 거지 대득하다 이니까 그래서 대득하다 이니도 말했어.
And then also it has to be what? Actual antidote to
The
acquired
obstruction.
afflictive emotion, afflictive obstructions, right? Yeah, so it is not an antidote for the acquired afflictive obstructions.
Right.
Okay. 니디 돈을 얘기 담보 니디 돈을 가로 토마토바다 돈이가 또 되게 니디 돈을 주요 말했어. 니디 돈을 받지 말아다 니디 돈을 니디 가로 니디 전화 지조 친구시다 니디 돈을 받지 말아 냠바자도 찌르 찡거든 냠바자도 찌르.
So there is no realization of an emptiness, in the hearer's path of seeing from the beginning, at the beginning, right? So when you first realize, when you first attain the path of seeing, hearer's path of seeing, it is attained in the same session as the supreme mundane dharma, of the hearer's path of preparation. And the hero's path of seeing, an unhindered part of the hero's path of seeing, and the path of release of the hero's path of seeing. They're all in one session.
아니 니들이 돈을 받지 말아다 남도나 그가 냠바자도 찌르 찡거랬어.
Yeah, so they're all in the same time, not same time, but in the same session, in one session.
아니 되네 제네 아니 니들이 돈을 제답을 తీశాం 그랬어.
And then after that, then they come back into the post-meditative equipoise, the subsequent meditative equipoise, right?
아니 되네 지에네 얘들이 또 아니 돈이라 되지 냠냠자에 이 돈한테 냠냠자에 또 신이 한 거예요.
And then after that, after that, then there comes the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, single-pointedly focused on emptiness, single-pointedly focused on non-duality.
Okay? You got it? Okay. 다들 저도 삼부터 당가도 주마도 다되네. 아니 가도 되네 샤니 아니 내 버전도 멜레가 생각하고 있어.
All right, so you can think about it more on that.
Mhm.
Okay, and then we'll stop here for now, and then we'll recite a Medicine Buddha mantra.
Okay. Thank you.
아니
Thank you.
Hey Ed, are you on the bed?
We're here.
Are you on the bed?
Where?
In the bed.
No, I'm on a couch.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Dumpcho.
Thank
Okay.
you.
다진에 당하러도 단단 담블레야 간지 뭐다 바지 사야치도 제가 되지 않네 또 이번에 두대 보는데 그래 아니 다 바지 몸치 맞은 정도 속초 사버리 다 간지 담블레 미 사마 아니 다나 또 이번에 두대 다 샤나다 남라라데 다 될래야 아니 나댕에서 지금 면기체 만나서 소주고 체 세상에서야 밀리토백치다 당어도 아니 되게 잡아 쫑을 아니 사지 멜라로 써거든요. 아니 순순들어야. 아니 멜라 아니 대신 제 이거 삼바지 아니 꼬라고라 치네요. 아니 심지 사마이 생각도 멜레가 생각하고 있나스.
So now, the current situation is that there are maybe 1.5 million of people who are infected by this coronavirus, and over 100,000 people who have passed away. And there's so many, people, almost all the 7 billion people in this world are in panic, because of this virus. And so today we're going to recite Medicine Buddha mantra on this full moon day. So visualize 8 Medicine Buddhas up in the space in front of you, and then and then all sentient beings surrounded to yourself, and so then pray for those who have passed away. So those who are healthy, who are not infected by the disease or by the virus, to not be infected, to be healthy, and those who have been infected by the virus, to recover quickly, and those who have passed away, to have a good rebirth, with a profitable rebirth in the future. And so, for that purpose, we're going to recite the Medicine Buddha mantra, okay?
아니 대진에 당아서 가만히 쉬어서 장도 돼 사기 들어와.
And so we're going to recite that for next about 20 minutes.
아니 저도 잡에도 요나 아니 쇼다 자슴나도 왔어.
So if you have the text with you, then it's on the page 183.
Okay. Oh yeah. Kadrenyame tawi lama tang shaji Namo Bhagavate Namo Bhagavate Bekante Guru Bekaya Tabarandaya Tatangataya Arhate Samyasam Yadam Bekante Bekante
Maha Bekante
and Samangate Su Namo Bhagavate Bekante
Guru Bendoya
Tabarandaya Tatangataya Arhate Samyasam Bataya Yada Bekante Bekante
Raja Samangate Soha
Namo Bhagavate Bekante Guru Bekaya Tabarandaya Tatangataya Arhate Samyasambhadaya Yada Bekante Bekante
Raja Samangate Soha
Namo Bhagavate Bekante Guru Bekaya Jaya Tatangataya Arhate Samyasambhadaya Yada Bekante Bekante Raja Samangate Suha The visualization, the blessing for medicine, come to the medicine Buddha, which is also all the people have the symptoms. They receive the medicine. We should have to like feel like that. The blessing of the blue color come to the medicine Buddhas. The all the people who have symptoms, they receive the medicine, and they feel a little better, they become a little bit calm, their mind and body. They feel like that. Again, the visualization, the blessing from the all medicine Buddhas. You can also feel the medicine Buddha has on a bowl. The medicine, the blessing from medicine come from the bowl, come out of the bowl. It absorbs all the 7 billion human beings. It is the protection for the disease, especially the COVID-19. We have to feel like they feel protection. we receive again the blessing, the color of the blue, come from the Pinky Ball, all the medicine Buddha, the 7 different medicine Buddhas, also Buddha Shakyamuni. We call 8 different medicine Buddhas. We receive the blessing from the Pinky Ball, like the pores, the water, 7 billion human beings. They receive the blessing for medicine, nectar. They receive the protection for COVID-19 or the disease. We should feel like that. Everyone to feel. We all really feel everyone's feeling right now. Also, we especially would think about for the nurses, doctors, or the front workers. We wish to them they never get the dizzy, the protect from the dizzy. We send for our prayers there. Yeah, the home bekante ma, bekante ranza, samangati yesu. Simchin nebra chinya pa, nele te chichu, bebe nani. Padun jongwa me per show. Yeah. 제가 아니 택지라서 당하다 냠도 지와나 야 개와 마요 그래서 니바 치야다 휴치야다 이거를.
So if we do in a group, then it's more powerful, more beneficial because of the, many number of people together doing it.
아니 소소 나라에 와나 아니 다 단디 갖고 잠블리가 네트에 선다 셔치. 아니 소준돌라야 예동가리 구상도나 아니 주제도마 바바 신레즈 산티 멜로 섬다지 아니 소체 집단에 아니 뭐는 잠내 뜻은 besoin 아니 땡땡 편기오레스.
And so even if you're at home, doing a group practice like this, with the visualization of any of the deity that you feel more close with, like Ayatara, Avalokiteshvara, Medicine Buddha, and then from there visualize nectar flowing down and purifying all the negativities, all the disease, all the sickness. If you do like that, definitely it will help.
제다 산지 멜라 대신 제다 미세가 아니 두제 몰음 아니 터치 심진 내바다 아니 무게다 내염 된들라야 아니 배하기도 두제 나셔 완전 대단되나 아니 미세 편도는 거래.
And especially because the 8 medicine Buddhas, and are especially have dedicated, especially to benefit for beings who are in a adverse condition like pandemic and so forth. And so therefore, if we pray to the medicine Buddha, then it will definitely help.
아니 다 제가 다 나사된 거라서 만나기 해봤자리 나는 개요 말했고 이지한테 남자 지금 개요 말했어.
So of course we hope that we don't get sick, but even if we get sick, then nothing to worry about. Yeah.
제가 안에 다 같이 주소이나 테라메 같이 주소 당고네 전에 안에 딱 들밥대요.
And no need to worry about it, because if you can get better, then what's the point of worrying about it, right? And if you cannot get better, then the worrying will not help, to make you get better. So that's just like that teaching, from Shantideva's Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life. This is really time to apply that, teaching into practice.
제가 안에 삼랑감다다 지나다 되게 맞대바지야 저득치네야 효야 마시고 지고 계신 분이라래.
And so no need to worry, but doesn't mean that you should not be careful. You should still be very careful, and make all your attempts to not get sick.
Okay. 오두치네는 삼노다 안에 다 나로 고감대선에 다 마치 날 때문에 내가 소소 날 때보다 날 흘려진 거나 주고 대하셔도 고급 야부 좋세 소소 다치 아니 지금 리자이로 제거 이래서 대전에 깔리지 않고 말이에요.
And so because of this, many of you have have to stay home, and so don't be stressed, thinking that I have to stay home, I can't go out and so forth. But think, on the other side, on the other hand, you can think like, this is such a good opportunity for me to relax. Like that. If you think like that, then your mind will not be very stressed.
제가 아는 가 거디로 전화 대장에서 대장장 쓰면은 설명감다다 지나다 심지마래 그랬어. 대전에 저는 말씀나 아니 강의장 될 말이에요.
So more you think about going out and when will I be able to go out, when will this be all over and so forth. If you think like that, then it will feel like it's taking a really long time to go through all these things. So if you don't think about that, your mind will not be worried. Your mind will not be stressed. The time will just go by very quickly.
제가 아니다 소소고 선바대 아니 감라지 나 맞아봤대 빼면서 내가 좀 버렸어.
And so therefore it is very important to not get your mind so much worked up, worried and so forth.
아, 두셔로 이러는데 가정가도 제외다 막 쉬는 거 같아. 가르치는 되게 왔어.
And of course, from the worst point of view, like if because we are born, so we have to die. Someday we have to die. It could be this time. So just think like that.
단다시는 무능장이 말아서 봐.
And then especially if you die now, maybe it's better. And more people praying for you.
아, 저기다. 되게 마요. 되게 용어 말. 되게 마요를 하자. 그래서 용어 말했어.
And so of course, I don't think it will happen to you like that, but of course, we all pray that none of us will have to die at this time. Yeah, so don't be careless. Don't lose your attention or don't be careless. That's very important.
Okay, like that. Now I have to add 30 to 9 for Tibetans. We do also Thara pray. Then you guys also finish your prayer. Okay. Then I'm leaving. Then this is Zoom. I go to another Zoom. Okay. Okay. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
You guys just finish it.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
Good night, Geshe-la. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Geshe-la.
Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Damcho.